Yeah. All right. You want to we'll just do it over from the top?
Yeah.
Because fuck it. All right.
Could you see what's wrong?
Yeah, I think we should be good now. As long as we get a hey, how you doing from the chat room, that we're good.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There you are.
We're good.
How about that? All right. All right, let's do it from the top, kids.
You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live, again, from Benjamin's Chain Emporium, just north of the wall. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Damn!
Deja vu.
It's always better the second time around, folks. That's what I'll say.
Definitely that's true about lasagna for sure.
Yes, leftovers. As we go around the table, hey, I'm Bill Sweeney. That's me, and we do nerd stuff, geek stuff, and I got Jay.
Evening, motherfuckers.
We got Ed.
Hell, you've got it made, riding for pictures, beating out that competition, and me being patronizing. Is the egg shown or what?
And then we got my brother Bob on guitar.
Hey, what's up?
Much better second time around.
Yeah, Ed's delivery
He acted.
Yeah.
He had prep.
Ed, well, no, I feel like
rehearsal.
we got two very different takes.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the first time around better. I know no one heard it.
The raw, more passionate.
Yes, it was very loose, but yeah, all right. So once again, Bill's fucked up the show right from the jump. We lost 4 minutes because I thought that,
Fuck you doing?
that I had it plugged in, but it wasn't set in the Mixler to read that.
See, this is where
And,
That's
you know,
4 minutes we'll never get back, Bill.
Hit me with it, Ed. Hit me
this is
hit
where
me with it, Ed.
this is why we need Lorraine Bracco sound drops.
I don't even know which Lorraine Bracco from where.
Goodfellas.
All right, I immediately go to Sopranos.
That was all the money we had, Karen.
Just Karen, stay in the house. I'll handle it. All right. So I would like to thank Agent Palmer for doing due diligence, even though I didn't see it right away. We didn't see it soon enough.
Thanks, Jason.
Literally, his notes in the chat in the private chat are, can't hear you guys. The clock is running, but no audio. Bill, you are not being heard. Anyone who wants to acknowledge this chat, since I can't hear you, would be a good idea.
Yeah.
He's just trying. Poor guy.
Well, I want to know. That brings up a question.
Yeah, sure.
Why the fans of the show, the people listening to the dead air, didn't say something in that chat room?
They might have been. To be honest with you, they might have been.
Yeah, they were.
They were?
They probably were.
Okay.
And you know what it is? We get so caught up.
My bad, guys. Sorry.
That's why we miss it so much, because we get so caught up in the energy of the open that by the time we notice that we're off, that we're not recording or we're not plugged in some way correctly, that it's already like, oh shit, 3 minutes has passed. Before it's like, oh, let's look around. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a notification over there. There's somebody screaming over in this.
That's what you're going with?
Well, I'm not. What does this sound like an apology or an excuse? I'm just saying what it is and how it is.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's okay. All right, because you were about to give me something, and I nullified it.
I was
right?
going to start. I was going to start a little bit.
All right. Well, don't.
It's all right.
The show is now officially started.
Okay.
And that's enough. That's enough starting for one day.
Okay.
All right. This is episode 120, Jay.
To be continued.
It is
120.
120.
120.
Only 300 more to go.
To 420, baby.
Look at that math.
420.
That's
What happens at 420?
Everything.
Come on, Ed.
We smoke it up. We light it up at 420.
Do we need to explain it? Or
Do
no?
I have to?
No. But if you're here,
He doesn't know, huh?
But if you're here, you might as well, because there's no exhaust. So we're going to get to some news, some nerd news. DC TV report coming up later in between the shows. What's up?
I'm sorry, we got to do a bit one time with the education of Ed.
No, yeah, that'll become a segment. We'll just throw things. We'll throw
things at him, see if he knows it.
Everybody come with something, right? And then we kind of surprise each other with our little reveals. But it's like, all right, Ed, do you know what this is? Like, you just throw a concept at him.
Oh, I think you'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah. I think you'd be surprised, too. I think you'd be very surprised. Because we would just shoot for the fucking moon, knowing full well probably nobody at the table knows what we're talking about.
What's a Cleveland steamer?
I do know what a Cleveland steamer is.
Oh, docking? That's just when you bring your boat up to the dock and you... Right, yeah, that's all it is. Sure. All right. So, with that being said...
A squat cobbler.
We're also going to get to...
Oh, I watch Better Call Saul.
I watch Better Call Saul.
The Coney Island Whitefish.
There you go.
That I don't know.
You don't know what that is?
No.
I don't think you want to. Like, I don't know what it is either, and I'm unsafe around
What's a
that.
tossed salad?
Bob knows what it is.
That's basic. That's pretty good. Tossed salad, you should know.
A Coney Island
See,
Whitefish.
that's the key thing. Like a tossed salad, you should know.
Is a used rubber floating in the Hudson.
That's a Coney Island whitefish. I like that one.
It's true.
Because it's floating in the water.
It's legend.
Yeah. Coney Island whitefish. It's so gross.
Exactly.
Just like Coney Island.
I didn't invent it, man.
No, I'm sure.
I'm just explaining
It does feel like a thing that would roll out of your mouth if I was walking with you one day, and they're like in the brook, and like you're like, yo, swing.
Look, it's a Coney Island
whitefish. It does feel like a thing like you would make up on the spot. It does seem like that.
I'm just explaining it.
I'm sure you can look it up. I'm sure people can look it up.
So Ed, that does bring up the question. Do you know what a tossed salad is?
I know what it means to toss a salad.
Eggs.
like, are you talking about in the kitchen or are you talking about somewhere else?
Yes.
Yeah, in a bedroom.
And we're talking about just something that has to do in a jail house.
It's left the jails, Bob.
Yeah.
People are trying it at home.
This is true.
It's when you get your butthole eaten out.
Oh, okay.
That's tossed salad.
Also known as rim job.
And that's today. And that's today's lesson.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
Meaning?
I thought tossing a salad was a girl getting eaten out.
Oh, okay. Well, it's eating the asshole. Basically, it's eating the asshole.
That's eating clam.
You know what? So it's butthole.
Oh, okay.
It's strictly butthole.
Okay.
So you could do it to a girl, do it to a guy, but it's all about the butthole. That's the key. That's the key factor. Chris Rock's great bit. Tossed salad. He's talking about the tossed salad in prison.
Enjoy that last one.
Yeah.
I prefer mine with a cert. Sometimes.
So I'm trying to figure out for Frasier fans, where do the scrambled eggs come in?
Oh boy, that's next week's lesson. I don't know, but that'd be great. I'm sure there is a thing for scrambled eggs. Coney Island
Whitefish, baby. Ron
Conklin with scrambled eggs. All right. So let's get back to official business. Let's wrap up this segment. Somehow a new segment broached in the middle of it.
Yeah. The podcast you were a guest on this week is gonna love having to follow.
Well, I wasn't done. I'm gonna segue into
the Whitefish.
I'm gonna sell emails again. We're gonna push emails again. Hey, if you want to send us an email, maybe you have a question that ask Ed.
Yeah.
That's the new bit.
Put that in the subject line.
Put that in the subject line. And or specifically questions for just ask Ed, and that's the kind of questions we want. It's some kind of colloquialism. Maybe it's naughty, maybe it's not, but does he know what it is? We'll just see what happens.
Yeah, this ain't a bit. This is the open.
Right. I only got 2 more segments in official business, then we can move on. All right, so send us these emails. Send them to podcast@wickedtheory.com. And then Ed was hinting that this week on the podcast called Our Liner Notes, an episode with me, dropped. And it's me and Chris and Angel Palmer is there. And we're...
you can't get away from that guy, can you?
No. Actually, you know what? He was kind of quiet this week. I didn't hear from my buddy much.
Yeah, what's up, Jason?
He might have been doing the girlfriend thing and testing me to see if I would call him. Like, he's like, maybe he was doing that. Like, I call you all the time. Let's see if I stop calling if you call me.
Yeah.
Well, then the joke's on him, I guess.
Well, I tell him and everybody else all the time, you got to call me because I will just kind of not call.
I did that with half my friends this week.
What, just not call them?
Yeah. I'm very upset with Andrew.
All right. Andy, if you're listening. It's time to call your friend.
Who's
All
that?
right. Andy.
Never mind.
Okay. He's dandy. So so our liner notes, and it's if you've never heard our liner notes, it's all about music, and each week or each episode, I should say, they all bring different music to the table for each other to listen to and sample, usually wrapped around a theme, and not to spoil, well, I'm not going to spoil what music we all brought, but it's all good stuff. We had a lot of laughs. I was very funny, if I must say. Yeah. Charming as ever.
I'm looking forward to it. I downloaded it, have not listened to it yet.
You downloaded it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to it. Just download it. Just give him numbers, folks.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go on that show too at one point.
Yeah. We're all supposed to make the rounds. We're all supposed to make the rounds.
I have recorded an episode that has not been dropped yet.
I recorded mine a little ways back too.
Yeah.
And actually in it you can kind of hear like a couple of things I mentioned and stuff like that. It's like, oh shit, like this states it specifically it's like yesterday XYZ happened, and it's like, oh shit. Anyway, but totally great. I had a great time. Looking forward to doing it again, and because he's got some other kind of format, they switch it up a little bit. Still music, you know what I mean, but in a different context. So go check out our liner notes and keep your eyes peeled for future episodes with us popping up on them, and check out all those other episodes because, like I said, there's a lot of music to be had and sampled in that.
That's right.
That's right. Is anybody in the chat room?
Yeah, we got Wesley.
Yeah.
We got Zombie John.
Hey, Zombie John.
Fazooch.
Last week's guest.
Yeah.
We got James Louisiana.
James. James.
And Agent Palmer.
And Agent Palmer. Mr. Persistent.
Jason.
Gotta love him.
How you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
He really hates that, by the way.
Who, J.S. Palmer?
Yeah.
All right.
J.S. Palmer.
J.S. Palmer.
He really doesn't like that.
Okay.
I'm letting you know.
I got it. I understand. Anything else?
Like he kind of gives.
People are gonna figure out his middle name is
First of all,
Satchmo.
it's my name too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
So
fair.
I can say Jason whenever the fuck I please.
Okay.
All right.
Just like I notice sometimes he's confided to me that he gets a little upset when people just call him Palmer. Like he would really prefer to be referred to just as Agent Palmer.
All right. So I'm gonna call him
He's like really formal about that.
Can I just call him Agent?
Jason Star Trek Palmer. J.S. Palmer.
Some people just call him AP now too.
App.
Hey, App.
Hey, Appy.
Appy.
Yeah, I saw someone call him Harry
The
once.
Appy section.
I call him Harry once in a while.
Yeah.
Because Harry Palmer's actually a character.
Yeah, the
he's
Shumway
based on.
flipped out when you did that.
Yeah.
They were like, "Who the fuck is Harry?"
Yeah, who's Harry? I don't get the reference. And it's like, that's my buddy. That's what I call him. That's like my Snuggles.
It's
like
JS.
That's my little buddy. My little buddy. It's my Gilligan, but like smart. And not annoying. Like I've never had to hit him with a hat.
Gilligan, little buddy.
Well,
Gilligan's
there have been times you want to hit him with a hat. He's just in Pennsylvania, which is 2 states away.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So
I gotta go drive over there.
every time I see you come in the door on a Saturday at around 1:30 or so,
Bob's gonna
and
sell me out.
your phone is always ringing. It's like,
We did that once.
Right.
We did surprise him once.
That's true.
I've been thinking about doing it again.
we hedged our bets though. We brought good pizza.
We ambushed him. Did you ever hear that?
I don't know, but
episode?
I'm gonna go ambush him. I'm gonna go drive over there. I'm just gonna, take him out for a couple of drinks, couple of Jasons, just shooting the shit.
I'll give you his address. No problem.
Yeah.
You want to do it tomorrow?
He's not far from you,
He's
bro.
not listening, is he?
No, he's far.
No, that's Bethlehem.
That's far.
He thinks we're lying.
From your house, it's about an hour.
He won't know what time we'll
Or
come
it's
there.
from-
We
it's
could
an hour here too.
We could leave after the show. He
Well,
won't know.
It was an hour and 45 minutes for us, right? About an hour and 45, 2 hours, guys?
Well, I'm 10 minutes from you guys.
Yeah.
45 of traffic.
Yeah.
I like how it's so crazy that like me and you wanted to continue our conversation in between every time they were going.
Yeah.
And it just would have been 2 completely conversations taking turns.
Well, no,
I don't
'cause-
know if anybody would have really followed.
No,
it.
because I'm trying to say this so that
Like in a room, you could see it happen, but I
Right.
wonder
no,
if
because I don't want the listeners to hear it. Because
No, no,
I
I
want
know.
everyone to think it's a joke. But like, meanwhile, I'm like
Why?
under the table, like mouthing a belt.
no, we can really.
No, he's setting up a fucking road trip.
He's like, no, we can really do it, like right after the show. We can really do it. I don't know. It might. But I think if whatever it is, it's gotta be like 4 in the morning when we get there. It's gotta be like, he's gotta be sleeping.
Wake his ass up.
Yeah, just start banging on all
Star
the
Trek,
windows.
come on.
We're gonna upset all the neighbors.
Everybody pick a side of the house and just start.
Dude, even better, man. Bring the old shit in the bag, light it on fire. You go there 4 in the morning. Hey, what's just us, guy?
I'll dump in a bag for that bit.
I bet he's real good friends with the Bethlehem PD, but maybe not after we get there.
Especially if I get there.
All right, so let's give those kids in the chat room something to do.
Yeah, so we got a chat game.
Oh, I don't even know who put this in.
I did.
You did, okay.
I will take credit.
You put in the title. I made the examples.
This is true. This is true. I'm an idea man.
I got you.
I'm an idea man.
You're not an execution.
Yeah.
You're just idea.
Yeah.
I got you. So what was the idea?
The idea was hashtag. The chat game is Fairytale horror movies. Examples include The Silence of Mary's Little Lamb and Little Dead Riding Hood.
That's as good as it gets for examples.
Hardy fucking horror.
I know when Jay loves it because he does the hardy horror. So, yeah, run with that. Play with that. Have fun with it.
Salute, Bill.
Make up your own. Make a
Scotch.
salute. You going to finish this fucking
I
bottle?
just did.
You just did. Well, then, really, congratulations. Johnny Walker, Double Black, going down.
God, it goes down good.
Friday the 13th in Fairyland.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Jason takes Newark.
I was trying to think of how to merge the movie Friday with Ice Cube
Oh, it's funny as fuck.
with Friday the 13th, but it would just be called Friday the 13th. like as a textual joke, it wouldn't work. You'd have to kind of like just do like
Friday after next Friday
like,
the 13th.
right, like where it's Chris Tucker and Ice-T on the stoop, and instead of like when Debo rolls up,
Ice Cube.
it's Jason on the bike.
No, you got a good. You got a subtitle. There's a subtitle for that movie.
Yeah.
It's Friday the 13th. Jason's going down.
Jason's going down. All right, let's roll it on over to Newsyville. How about that? Let's get the show on the fucking road, all right? We've already lost precious time.
No, we didn't. I mean, that's gold.
No, that was gold. It was gold. The time when I fucked up the opening. That time. That's what I meant. Not that it matters. Not that it matters.
So
News o'clock.
Yeah, news o'clock. So we had people die every week, but
So who were the ones worth
according to-
mentioning this week, I guess?
this week we lost two actors.
Yeah.
We probably lost a lot more than that, but
Depends on how you want.
the ones
how
that
deep you want to go
the
down.
ones that got news coverage, the great
Yes.
the king of them all.
Yes. The king of comedy.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis, ladies and gentlemen.
Lady.
Yeah.
Lady.
Raised millions of dollars for charity for the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Yep.
Before getting untimely kicked to the curb.
So who's going to take that job now? Seacrest?
Oh no, he was fired like years ago.
Oh, that's right. He stopped doing it a while
Yeah,
ago.
I don't think the telethon exists anymore.
I don't think
it
so
was
either.
like one of those
like once he was out, it fizzled out on its own.
Yeah.
And there was a point too where he started losing a lot of his relevancy in a way. So I don't think that was probably doing the wonders it used to as far as financial.
But you cannot deny all the guy was a major performer since since late 40s, early 50s.
Oh my God,
Yep,
Cinderfella, Flubber. I used to watch these movies. There was a point where Channel 5 locally would run on Saturdays either kung fu movies or like Jerry Lewis movies, or they ran them both. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was
Actually,
like
I think it was they started with like the kung fu movies, and a little later in the afternoon it was the Jerry Lewis movies.
Yeah.
It was all the time. You could see them all.
all of them.
Well, a lot of people. What he doesn't get credit for is what an amazing director he was. He invented the video playback. I think
Yes, he did.
Right.
for direction for on set.
Yeah,
direction.
which people don't understand now because of digital media.
It just
how
seems like
everything
it's
just
such a
plugs
super
in.
obvious.
Oh, but no,
Yeah.
this was at a point where you did on film, and you didn't know what anything was going to look like until it was developed. And
Right.
he came up with this idea to put just this little small video camera on there,
Right.
below the scope, so you can actually get an idea of what the frame would look like as you were shooting.
Right.
And it's not just artistic integrity or comic genius.
Yeah.
We're talking about execution of direction here.
Yeah,
You know
sure.
what I mean? I mean, he got it done, and he got it done fast.
Yeah,
And
well, that was never when they
Yeah.
used to spit shit out like crazy.
But probably his greatest performance is, of course, in The King of Comedy,
Yeah.
where he actually, plays it straight.
Yeah, yeah.
Phenomenal performance.
Yeah.
Should have been recognized for
He
that.
actually did
recognize
an episode of Law and Order SVU, which he played it straight.
Yeah,
He was an excellent
that's
actor.
true. I've seen that.
Yeah, I would even go as far as the original Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think is also a work of comedic genius.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's a movie that used to fucking like weird me out as a kid too. Like certain things like from back in the days, like that they're a comedy or they walk a line a little bit, but things are just so weird. Like in execution on older movies, like you know what I mean. It's just like a thing where as a kid it was like, Like this movie's creeping me out more than it should. I think. Like that when he's like the guy with the buck teeth. Like, you know what I mean? Before he switches over to Buddy Love. Like, you know what I mean?
Professor
like,
Kelp.
Yeah, when he's Professor Kelp and he's doing the whole... Everything the Simpsons stole, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Well, do you know what the genesis for that was?
On which, him or the Simpsons?
Well, why, like, the whole, and this is rumor, but after he and Dean Martin broke up,
right,
he wanted to do a Martin and Lewis movie and prove he could play both parts.
Okay, right. Makes total sense. So he's playing the super smooth Buddy Love, which is like the Dino part.
Yeah,
yeah. Gotcha, buddy. Hey, buddy.
But then the other great mystery that comes around this is the fate of a film that was never seen and never released, called The Day the Clown Cried.
Yes.
Which he
another work of comedic genius.
Yes, which he filmed in 1972.
Right.
This was when he was big in France, and he could go to Europe and do anything.
Yeah.
And he made this movie about a clown in a concentration camp that evidently was so bad he didn't want anyone to see it.
Yeah. But then did show it to like select people.
Well, I think rumors were like a copy was snuck out of his vault.
Yeah, but I don't know how true that is because I think that would have leaked by now.
Well, Harry Shearer went on Stern and he said that he talked about it, and it does exist. And there's there was an article, I don't forget, maybe in the Hollywood Reporter, where they did say they will show it in 10 years.
Yeah, so he sold a copy to the Library of Congress.
Right, okay. That's it.
With explicit instructions not to show it until the year 2024.
Right. Okay.
And it will only be shown at their one location somewhere in the middle of Virginia.
To at least bring them foot traffic.
So you will see every film scholar and cinephile
jamming that place up for a couple of years.
Yes, will descend upon Virginia.
Well, it'll probably be like an event there. Like you get to see that.
I'm sure it'll be like in a regular rotation.
But it will not be there will not be released on DVD or home video or any kind of.
That's right. It'll leak on the web.
Yeah, and
it'll find its way.
There will be there won't be any viewings, commercially.
Right.
So, because they see it as a piece of film history, but
can't really bring the kids to that one.
And I actually think that he probably did that because he knew he was ailing and dying, and
well, he just figured, I'm not going to live to 100, so 2024. I'm definitely gonna be dead by then.
Yeah,
I may go do that. I may go.
Well, are you kidding me? I definitely do that.
I would do it too.
There's your road trip.
You guys, I'd be going there with a hat with a camera in it. My lapels would have a camera in it.
I'm gonna go dressed like a fucking clown.
No, this is Library of Congress, so they have fucking Army MPs patting people down.
Oh, my favorite people.
All my favorites. So, all right. And then Jay Thomas. So salute to Jerry Lewis. And then Jay Thomas also passed away. Jay Thomas, you might know from either acting or radio, but he was he made probably a broader impact in radio. Probably more people know his name because he was syndicated for many years, different markets and stuff like that. But a lot of people know him from his acting work as well, which is he was Carla's husband on Cheers for a while. And a lot of recently he was on Ray Donovan, I think, in the last couple of years. He had a role on there. And, some smatterings here or there. He wasn't a guy who kind of like was always working or a really big name, high profile stuff.
Big television guy.
He was a character actor, one of those guys. He was in everything twice. He was the gym teacher in Mr. Holland's Opus. It was probably the meatiest part I remember him having.
Okay.
At that time, anyway.
Yeah, and this is one of those guys. I say he's one of those guys who's done everything twice.
Okay.
You don't know what he's from, but the second you see him, you're like, oh, that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's one of those character actors who, when he shows up in a movie, if you're not sure if it's going to be good, it's like, oh, we're okay. We're okay.
Right, we're okay for now. We're okay.
It's going to be okay.
Right, it's not going to be bad.
At least they were smart enough to hire this guy.
They got Jay Thomas. It's mediocre.
Yeah.
This is mid-level mediocre.
It's safe.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, but like sometimes Stephen Root's another guy like that.
Okay.
It's like if he shows up in a movie, it's like, okay, this may be horrible, but at least there's like some redeeming quality.
But he's still alive.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about him yet. Okay.
See, I feel that way about Clive Owen. when I see him, I'm like, all right, he's cool.
Well, unlike Steve Gutenberg, which basically says, "Oh yeah, this is going to be another Sharknado."
Right. So get out your chainsaws, kids. We're fighting sharks. What? All right. So.
No, you'll be doing Sharknado a favor if you get Steve.
Yeah, he was involved in writing all those or something.
Was he?
Yeah.
So. Moving along.
Yes.
There was like a whole bunch of Joker movie, Batman movie, news, counter news, corrections, and shit like that. So here's the rundown, basically. Let me give the rundown series of events, and then we'll backtrack and
this
go
was
over
a saga.
So at the beginning of the week, Todd Phillips, it's announced, director of The Hangover, and Martin Scorsese as producer are developing a Joker solo film.
It's going to be an origin movie.
Like an origin movie type thing, probably taking place like in the 80s or something like that, or 70s. They're looking for a whole Taxi Driver kind of feel. Okay, so we'll come back to that real quick.
Okay.
All right, so then Reeves, director of the Batman, had said that it will not be part of the extended universe. Then we got news that there was a whole other Joker movie for some reason.
That was going to be a Joker Harley Quinn movie.
Right. And then we got news that no third movie had been announced.
Oh, that was a joke on Birth Movies Death.
Is that what that was? Okay,
yeah,
so
that was Birth Movies Death. It was like the last 2 days we've had these bone-crushing announcements that are very confusing.
Right.
Like, we just want to let you know.
Nothing.
There's not going to be a third one.
Right, I got you. All right, so that was them being the jerks. Okay, fucking assholes. All right, and then turns out that the Batman movie is part of the extended universe. That whole thing was a little bit exaggerated.
Yeah.
It was kind of crossed out of context.
Yeah, but you're not going to have any like
Other things.
random cameos or tie-ins.
Right. When he had said that it won't be part of the DC extended universe, he kind of that's paraphrased, and so what he had meant was it's just not going to have all this other shit going on. It's going to feel like Batman just on doing his thing.
Yeah.
You know,
we're not going to sub-reference everything.
Yeah, it's not going to be so heavily integrated. And then at the end, this Joker Harley movie supposedly has replaced Gotham City Sirens on the DC Warner movie schedule.
Yeah.
But I don't think that means you're not going to get it, the Sirens thing. I just think it's just shifted around. This has just got priority because it's probably like, oh, we like that idea better, or we're excited right now for it, or whatever.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, so that's the rundown in general. So basically, the real meat of these things to kind of go over or talk about is like Scorsese producing a Joker movie.
Okay.
Or the idea, even in general, of like, do we need a Joker movie?
All right. Let me start it.
Right.
All three elements of that make absolutely no sense to me.
I get them as a concept. I don't know about like I'm stuck on do we need them? But go ahead.
Yeah. So Todd Phillips.
Yeah.
As solid a director as he is, doing this type of project,
right?
I just it doesn't seem like it's in his wheelhouse.
See, but I have a rebuttal for that kind of like because I was thinking about it the other day, like, how do you feel about Danny McBride taking over Halloween? Because I feel like this is a thing where like it's about him being pigeonholed. I think and he's probably been looking for ways to kind of branch out and show that because I feel like directors are more versatile than they're given credit for.
100% agree with that.
And like a lot of them they've got to prove it though. Yeah. But a lot of them have kind of cross dabbled. Like Barry Levinson, like is he done dramas and comedies?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just something about the sensibility of the tone.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying we haven't seen any examples of that he could hit that. But I feel like those hangover movies do have like a very, very its own thing, a very super specific kind of tone and look and feel that is unique to them. Like if I turned on Part 4 and it was by him, I would know it was that movie without seeing like any of the principal. Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like he can achieve that though. Yeah. As a visionary or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? But,
Also, just Scorsese being involved in comic book properties seems like a weird jump for me. Like,
I think he's like, fuck it now. He's like, fuck it.
Well, it's just kind of like he's off doing his own thing. Yeah. And it's like I feel like there's so much other things that he could be doing to bother it. And just the idea of a Joker origin story, to me, it's like a Wolverine origin story. Like, why would you want to...
No, because there's a lot of layers in the Joker character that
but
calls for that kind of
I don't know. To me,
film, I think.
I think the less you know about him, the more effective and scary he is.
Yeah, but we've been through that. You know what I mean? We'd like to see something a little different. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And if Scorsese's backing him up on this and wants to give it a Taxi Driver kind of narrative, I say go for it. But what I don't think that it's wise to do that and have your audience be confused by saying what's part of this extended universe, what's not. It's too much shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we got to remember, too, that we got to think about what we're actually going to get as an origin story. Are we going to get this classic, basic, superhero style origin story? Or are we going to get something a little different? Are we going to see, like, Joker becoming Joker? Are we going to see him slowly delving into madness?
Right.
You know, and becoming more and more of that madman.
I mean, if it's a question of, you know, a madman, you know, rising up into the, you know, the gangster realm, who better than Scorsese to actually tell that kind of a story? And I think it'd be interesting with that kind of character.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it's a big question on, you know, whatever pieces they. It's like they're gonna pick pieces of a broken story anyway. Like Joker's a broken origin story. Like there's like kind of like 3 or 4 different kind of versions, and not any one of them is any kind of real specific official origin.
Right.
So now you're gonna take these bits and pieces and then throw them into some completely other kind of setup. Like, you know what I mean? Now it's like, you know, it's, hey, look, is Batman going to be in it at all? Like, you know what I mean? Is it going to be at least alluded to, mentioned? Is it,
or maybe
what I mean?
not. Maybe that's what you end with, is the
Fair
vision
enough.
of him. You know what I mean? I think it works better like that. Do
I
not
get that.
take the whole superhero element out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Nolan did.
Right.
Kind of like took that whole superhero edge off of it and give you a straightforward crime drama, but it would be a gritty crime drama like Taxi Driver.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I just wonder if whether you have him in there or not, it doesn't, like, you know, it feels like a thing where there's not a lot of meat on an official level in a way that now if you're going to transfer it into like a specific genre to try to achieve something very different than it was to begin with.
Right.
Like, you know, don't get me wrong. In the end, it could be like an amazing thing out the other end. It's just kind of like looking at it from this side. It's like, you know, there's not a lot of fucking.
But that's where credited writers come in, and we're going to get that meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? And that you'll have a movie then.
And don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like the genesis of this is Todd Phillips probably had like a really fucking cool idea, and like managed to get Scorsese to read his treatment, and
or maybe it was the other way around.
Or it could be, but I feel like, or it's a conversation between the two of them. But I feel like the thing is that like Scorsese's involvement is in a way to kind of offset the questions you have about Todd Phillips.
Maybe,
you know what I mean? It's about trying to sell. Without Scorsese, Todd's pitch. Doesn't make any it's really all on Todd.
But you hit it on the mark before when you said that, you know, some of these directors, even actors who get stuck in these kinds of roles,
they're desperate for a way to show, like, you know, like,
you know, there was a director in the 80s named Stuart Gordon. Stuart Gordon did The Reanimator. He did From Beyond. A lot of those, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Reanimator was excellent.
Right. But that's all he was doing. His entire resume was horror. And then in the early odds, I think, he did a David Mamet. He adapted a David Mamet, directed a David Mamet play called Edmund with William H. Macy.
Right.
And it was about this businessman who like had some rage in him, but it was tone. It was a different tone, different change of pace. So I don't blame directors for wanting to, you know, expand on their horizons as a director.
Sometimes, you know, it's like the thing you get pigeonholed as, like, you came in from the side on that. Like, you were never even looking to kind of like do genre. You know, maybe sometimes like it's like, okay, I took that gig because I had to take a gig, and now because I did that good, it's like, oh, now I'm that guy. It's
well,
like,
I think they all start that way.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? They all start like, you know, I want to make a big, huge, epic, and then they're directing Road Trip. You know what I mean? So again, you know,
Crossroads with Britney Spears.
All the best. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just annoyed Bob by just mentioning it. It's so bad.
Go ahead, Ed. Piss on it. Go ahead.
No,
piss on it.
it's an insult.
It's insult to filmmaking. Go ahead. Go, Bob.
No, I mean,
shit on Britney.
It's a story about a guy who makes a deal with the devil to learn how to play guitar and be a great guitar player. and they take that whole thing and they play around with Britney Spears and they twisted it, and it was like.
Yeah, they took the same title.
So yeah, this is in early stages of development.
Right. Which one are we talking about now? Still the Scorsese one?
Yeah, still the Scorsese one. Which means they had a meeting
That's all.
And they're probably paying someone to write something.
Yeah, that's all.
So, this may never happen.
I'm sure Scorsese was like, yeah, sounds great. Okay, we'll do it.
Well, I'm going to edit Ed's bit on this and send it to Scorsese. I'm going to see what he says.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
So what did he say? What did he say?
Who was that guy? Who is he? Who is he? I don't know.
I'm going against the book. Against the book. Against the grain.
Do we know him? Do we have a headshot?
Yeah. Now, this other Joker movie, the Joker Harley Quinn thing, my take on that is because David Ayer, who directed Suicide Squad 1, was attached to direct Gotham City Sirens.
Yes.
And word on the street, if you read the trades,
is that people aren't happy.
The people who are high up at Warner Brothers now really don't like David Ayer.
Oh, they're not on the David Ayer team anymore?
The fact that they're pushing his movie back in the schedule and moving this up.
Right.
They already hired a different director for the Joker Harley Quinn movie.
Sure.
I think it's just an excuse to not, to get David Ayer to quit or just to kind of move that. Because I actually think that's a more interesting concept to have.
Oops, sorry.
These, you have these Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn go up against Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
That was the idea that I thought was being pitched.
What was the box office domestic take on Suicide Squad? Ed?
$600 billion.
No, but it was big,
good.
Right? I got it right here in front of me. The box office globally was $745 million. They're not angry at David Ayer.
No, they are.
No, they are.
They are.
I think he might be more difficult behind the scenes.
Because they think that could have been $1 billion.
All right.
That was, and
whatever.
And also the shit show that went on in editing that and putting that together. There were 2 different versions of that movie that they had to.
I didn't think
together.
It was half bad, to be honest with you.
No, but I think but the scuttlebutt behind the scenes, the way I took it too, is more like he's an issue. It's not so much what he put out.
Oh, you thinking that it's him on the set?
Yeah, it's like
maybe
he might be a little difficult, or he was with that project at least, or maybe even like we were making demands of you, but you were really giving us a hard time about them too. So I mean, as a studio or a boss, that's all it would take really to say like that guy.
I wasn't aware of that.
And I think it just kind of
that's the impression I got is what I'm saying. I kind of read into it like that.
They had an executive shift, which happens from time to time from the studios. And basically, the new head of production went, I don't like that guy.
And that's all it took to rub somebody the wrong way, I guess.
Sometimes that's how it happens.
Yeah, but okay. So and then really, I think that's going to wrap up that section of the news, right? All that Joker, Batman business.
Yeah, and
that Batman is it's still good. That looks like it's moving ahead, as confusing as it is. Whatever.
Yeah,
we'll find out more.
They'll wait till after Justice League comes out to announce that Ben Affleck's not in it.
Right.
But
something like that. All right, then.
In more news, it's just going to frustrate Ed.
Yes.
Bill, take this away.
All right. So Star Trek Discovery's coming. Ed's new favorite show that he can't wait for. And they put out like a little promo thing that kind of focuses on the Klingons, and you got to see them a little better.
You mean the fish people?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're fishy.
When I saw the trailer, I heard
gills on the sides of their heads now.
When I saw the trailer, I heard the blood pressure pill bottle that's next to Ed's bed. Start shaking and swallowing.
It's funny because while you were watching that, I was watching the vein in the corner of Ed's eye just start throbbing and twitching.
I thought he was trying to send me a signal via Morse code.
Oh, Ron Howard's Han Solo movie ain't bad now, isn't it, Dad?
So, so I don't know, just more. They are playing up the genetic angle, but it just doesn't line up with the timeline.
Why?
It just doesn't line up with the timeline. But hey, whatever. I don't know. I just felt like sharing it with you, Ed, and make sure you and Bob saw it, because I just, want to keep you guys abreast.
This is another thing.
You want us to suffer.
Yeah. I just don't understand it. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, what? There is nothing to be gained.
Yeah.
And all you're going to do is upset people.
I actually watched a short video of some other guy kind of breaking it down, too, and it's just like, just for those who don't, know the context, it kind of goes like this. It's like, they've kind of like always been tweaking the look of them for a long time, and they've kind of reversed and engineered this.
They did it twice.
Over time, they slowly changed the look of them.
Well, no, they did it. The original Klingons were basically just
people in brown makeup,
Vulcans with darker skin.
Fair enough. tanned Vulcans.
Really pointing. Everything else was pointy.
Yeah. And then in New Gen.
Then when they got money and put some money behind it.
Yeah.
And then with Next Gen,
they
changed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the original series Klingons just looked like day laborers.
They were like Pakistanis. They were like dark haired, dark skinned.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did the ridges, but like they went to great pains when they did Enterprise to actually have a moment towards the end of that show where they explained
the inconsistency.
Yeah,
they try to
they actually made it a plot point,
and that's where they're trying to shoehorn this new look in too. Though I think.
Yeah, and this is another thing where it's like if this was in a prequel, I wouldn't have half the problems.
Yeah,
I mean, I would still be upset that the Klingons are different.
Yeah,
but
why
is this a prequel?
It doesn't work. All right. And then also, the official synopsis for M. Night Shamalama Dingalangs. I guess that joke's probably pretty old too, right? Everybody does that. Okay, I take that one back, but only because it's an old joke, not because it was rude or anything. Night.
The Village.
No, not that.
Not so funny, people.
I can hear them right now. Glass, the full synopsis for Glass, which is the follow-up to Unbreakable and Split.
Would you like me to read this?
Give it your best, Ed.
From Unbreakable, Bruce Willis. Motherfucker.
Flatulence will get you every time.
You gotta go.
You got
a little more movie phone kind of.
From Unbreakable, Bruce Willis returns as David Dunn, as does Samuel L. Jackson as Elijah Price, known also by his pseudonym, Mr. Glass. Joining from Split are James McAvoy, reprising his role as Kevin Wendell Crumb, and the multiple identities who reside within, and Anya Taylor-Joy as Casey Cook, the only captive to survive an encounter with the Beast.
Yeah.
Following the conclusion of Split, Glass finds Dunn pursuing Crumb's superhuman figure of the Beast in a series of escalating encounters, while the shadowy presence of Price emerges as an orchestrator who holds secrets critical to both men. This riveting culmination of his worldwide blockbusters will be produced by Shyamalan and Jason Blum.
You didn't have to go into paragraph 3.
Salute.
Yeah, just the real synopsis stuff.
Okay.
Because there's nothing else. It's just all.
Oh, okay.
That's all blowing smoke up.
Yeah,
that's
a long for a synopsis.
Yeah.
Usually like 3-4 sentences.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You got to bring in two movies that are like 10 years apart.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
And one of them's like 30 years old.
No, Breakable was like
2000.
2000.
2000, yeah.
I'm just the thing I'm gonna wonder and miss the most might be that because I wonder if he's gonna try to recapture it too, or if he's just gonna let it kind of follow the tone of Split, but the tone and the feel of the original Unbreakable, whether it's I don't know, it was very slow and deliberate kind of pacing, and,
right?
And these long shots, these hold shots, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Split feels much more modern styled. You know what I mean?
But
Unbreakable, I feel like you can do a class on that. You know what I mean?
There were certain scenes, though, in Split that kind of mirrored Unbreakable.
Yes.
There
were times where all of a sudden I felt
it doesn't feel that apart from it.
Yeah. Well, see, to me, it's Unbreakable, you have these long open shots with a lot of dead space.
Yeah. Characters not even lined up for doorways and stuff like that.
Yeah, where it's just there's not much going on in the frame. All these big long hallways and large rooms and etc. And then with Split, it's all this close-quartered stuff.
Well,
you really feel that tension.
Yeah.
Those low ceilings and the
Because you're following the tension of that character too. It mirrors the pace.
Yeah.
His character mirrors the pace of that film, but it also fits, I think.
Well, yeah. I think what does tie them is like what you said, Jay, because there were a couple times where I was definitely watching it and I can't remember right now what they were, but I remember I was calling them out in specifics,
Well, the scenes where he's sitting with the psychiatrist, the Betty Buckley stuff, and I felt like that kind of belonged in the in an Unbreakable film. You know what I mean? It's slow paced, the scenes. So I definitely see how it mirrors Unbreakable. But if he would have did Unbreakable again, that kind of pace for Split, it would have been too obvious.
Oh yeah.
So I think that.
Well, that's why what's great is I said at the time, the one thing I do remember is how he slowly, the music the actual music starts to change, and it starts to sound very much like the arrangement of the main theme in Unbreakable. And I think that's like the first hint, and that doesn't come into the third act. And
right.
That's the thing, like, you know, because I knew going in what the deal was, that it was kind of like ruined for me already, you know what I mean? Sorry if we're spoiling this for people, but it's been a while.
Fuck 'em.
It's worst kept secret. All right, so I think that's really it.
Yeah, that's
we're excited for that. We can't wait for that to see something about that. And then we're gonna get into a little chat game review. We're gonna see what the kids were talking about.
Yeah. So the hashtag was Fairytale horror movies.
Fairytale horror movies.
Okay. So here we go. So
what we got in there, Ed?
Hansel and Gretel versus Jason.
All right. Straightforward. I like it.
Snow White and the Seven Demons.
Nah, you're talking.
Okay.
Snow White and the Seven Gremlins.
Oh, there you go. That's better.
Alibaba and the 40 Jasons.
Okay.
Alien versus Jack and the Beanstalk.
Nice.
Beauty and the Ash.
Okay. That'd be funny.
Shaun of the Riding Hood.
Oh, there you go.
The Boy Who Cried, Klaatu Barada Nikto.
Anyone want to finish that reference?
Day the Earth Stood Still, or Army of Darkness.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Princess and the Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, okay.
Ash versus the Army of Gingerbread Men.
There you go.
I think that might have happened.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That had to happen somewhere in a comic book.
Yeah.
The Emperor's New Machete. Mary and the Little Shop of Horrors.
Nice.
Frozen Lake Placid.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
What we got?
Killer Condoms and the Three Bears.
That's you?
That's me.
You?
That's my fucking participation.
Oh, God. No wonder you laugh so fucking hard. All right. The Blair Witch Beanstalk.
Ring that fucking bell.
A Haunting in Toyland.
Nice. Peter and the Wolf meet Jason on Elm Street.
Peter Cottontails of Terror.
Nice.
The Sorcerer's Appendix. Not horror, but evidently Palmer had a share. The Descent in the Woods. There's
Into
an
the
S
Woods.
there.
Nice. Goldilocks and the Three Predators.
Snow White and the Predator. Invasion of the Three Little Pigs. And I think this is my favorite. Sleeping Beauty of the Dead.
Oh, let's give that a bell. Nice. Very well done. Very well done. Invasion of the Three Little Pigs. All I see is like their three little houses, and then like the old school, what's his name? With the New Jersey radio play with the aliens. War of the Worlds. The War of the Worlds style alien ships.
Yeah.
Like the big three legs thing, you know what I mean?
Probing little animal.
Yeah. Probing like in the background, but like,
right.
Yeah, their little hats. I'm sorry, I don't know why I shared that. It's the alcohol. I had 3 sips. All right, guys.
Lightweight.
Hey.
Lightweight.
That's me. Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing along.
You're welcome.
That was nice of you kids.
Killer.
Very good job, guys.
Can't get out, you kids.
You're very proud of yourself.
Very proud. So proud. Jeez, if you
You're
had
fucking
your,
right.
If you had your own bell, you'd be ringing it all fucking day.
No, I don't have the Bob syndrome where I keep doing it.
Well.
Don't do it.
See what you started?
See? It's like a condition.
Oh, wait. I got something I could use instead of the bell.
No, that's okay. I don't even know what he's going to do. I'm already shooting it down. I'm like, he's leaving the room.
He's getting the ice cream sandwiches.
Maybe he finally did buy that triangle.
See, if it was Killer Clowns, I would have been up for that.
Well, there's a film called Killer Condoms.
Okay. That's
you
good.
said the hashtag horror movie with it?
Sure, absolutely.
Uh-oh, what is this? Oh, boy.
Go away with that.
Oh,
like,
boy.
seriously, I don't even know why you have that. Oh, well, that makes sense then. He's got a little, like, you can pump it air horn.
Bob just stepped on a seal.
I've been keeping it in my room this whole time.
See,
that's like the
That's the mascot.
I've been waiting 3 weeks for a segue.
That's the Wicked Theory mascot.
I had a treatment way back when. You know, remember when they were just doing all these horror reboots?
Yeah.
Sure. And when like I guess it was like the beginning of Blumhouse or right before Blumhouse.
Okay.
When you had like Amityville, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like every great horror movie of the 70s and 80s was getting remade.
Sure.
I had an idea to do like a deadly serious remake of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okay. Okay.
But like that would be the satire of like how outlandish this whole thing is just
like tongue in cheek kind of a thing, trying to find that other angle of it. Okay.
It's
hard to
this
hit.
outrageous concept, but the funny thing is going to be how fucking hard we try to make this seem serious.
I think that was the mission
So
statement
you're
on the
gonna
first
try
one.
and make a trauma movie, basically.
Yeah, but they succeeded with that, man. That went.
I never saw it.
Yeah, it's an independent darling.
No, I mean I know it.
Yeah.
I know of it.
Yeah,
you know
but,
what I mean? I never saw it.
kind of like what Sliver was in that range.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's even goofier and intentionally goofy than Slither was.
Well,
though.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a hell of a lot better of a film than Sliver.
Slither, I'm sorry.
Slither.
Slither.
Oh,
Not Sliver.
no, Sliver. Slither. Okay.
Slither.
James,
with the
that's
TH,
James
with the-
Gunn, isn't it?
With the TH, yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
That's a good. Yeah, that's good.
And then Sliver is like one of the Baldwins, I think, right?
Oh,
It's a
okay.
movie about the high-rise building or something.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
Sliver was the name of the building.
Yeah.
It was.
him and like Basinger. It was like
No, Sharon
Basinger and
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone and the other Baldwin.
And Tom Berenger.
Berenger.
Was it Billy or Danny?
I think it was Mikhail Baldwin.
Oh, it was Billy.
It was Billy.
William
Yeah.
Baldwin.
Tom Berenger knows about the Wicked Theory podcast.
Well, you've mentioned it.
I
don't
mentioned
think,
it to him.
I don't think if someone called him right now and asked him, "Hey, have you ever heard of Wicked Theory podcast?" that he'd be like, "As a matter of fact, I had a guy come up to me recent signing and mentioned it to me. He was slightly obnoxious, but not too offensive.
No, I wasn't obnoxious
so
with him.
By the end, he won me over, but he didn't smell right.
Yeah, they smell good.
No, but he meant like that old school, like
no,
like
we were, you know what?
something about him don't jive.
My uncle.
But I'm not in their face like that. I'm kind of like I'm with you.
I know that's the bit though.
See, my
I'll
uncle.
smack him in the head.
Stop breaking down the bit.
See, my uncle met Tom Berenger once,
Uh-huh.
like 25 years ago, and then for the rest of
Just
his
once.
life has told everyone that like Tom Berenger is one of his best friends.
That's great.
Oh, I see.
I love it when guys
Well, I
do
didn't say that.
No, you never did. Because otherwise, you'd have a lot of best friends who were famous because you met a lot.
Yeah,
of people.
exactly.
But that's all it took. You know what I mean? Oh, I met him. I know him. Like, sometimes people say it like that, and it's like, well, no, you met him at a signing. It's not like just like, oh, you met him. Like you ran into him, had like 20 minutes, like,
You know what I did though? I went when I walked up to him. I went, "Hey man, what's going on?" You know what I mean? He was
I'm
laughing
sure,
at
I'm
that
sure.
already. So maybe he does. Maybe he did.
Well, you come in with a big smile and a big voice, and like you're like a big huggable teddy bear, you know.
On occasion.
You're like Ted, but taller.
Yeah,
like, you know,
exactly.
exactly. You know?
Exactly.
And not quite as drunk.
Not quite as drunk, and maybe a little less prone to crime.
Well, that depends.
Well, depends on.
I can get pretty drunk.
Yeah, but would you have a bunch of hookers come over and do a shit on the floor?
Yeah, maybe. Absolutely.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Hookies. I ain't paying.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, we should just do that.
Segway
Yeah.
City. Welcome to Segway City. All right, so I got nothing in there. I have been watching stuff.
Let Ed go.
I'm gonna let Ed go. We're gonna let Ed go
right.
first.
So first off, I started listening to a new podcast this week.
It's not on the notes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't know the name of it was then. I guess so.
Okay. Yeah. It's called the Rewatchables.
You like how fast I got negative on it?
Be a little prick.
I'm a dick,
sometimes.
right?
It's like he's
Asshole.
cheating on you now.
I got
Fucking
I got-
asshole.
I am. I got four sips
Shit.
of this beer. I'm sorry, Ed.
So yeah, the
If you want to quit the show, I understand.
So
But Bob,
no, but seriously.
But it is like he's cheating.
go ahead. Sorry.
so the Rewatchables.
I like the name.
Yes. It's part of the Ringer.com.
Okay.
Bill Simmons Media Group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's him and basically the people in his office just chat about movies that they've watched nonstop on cable for the last 20 years.
Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That
Yeah.
guy.
They a lot of them is if you look in their feed, the first like half dozen episodes is episodes from other podcasts where they've done this. That a lot of them are sports movies, but not all of them.
Right.
There's Heat, A Few Good Men, and it's an interesting premise.
Right.
And I think it's enjoyable. Just kind of like chewing the fat about a movie that you've seen half a dozen times.
Right. I kind of like Bill Simmons though. Like I watched a little bit of that show he had on HBO that they canceled right away.
Any Given Wednesday.
Any Given Wednesday. But people will probably say, well, that's because you don't know fucking sports, jackass. Otherwise, you'd know the guy was an asshole.
Well, no,
but
yeah, no, he's a great personality.
I think he's interesting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I
just,
would like to. What I'm getting at is, I would like to listen to him.
Yeah.
Talk about that kind of shit because he seems pop referential. Like he knows shit.
Yeah, and
I swear to fuck, I swear to God.
Let's get a little too serious.
We were all, there was fun with the bell, and even the squeaky toy. I try not to get too crazy with it, but we might get emails about the air horn. Just saying.
It was getting a little serious in here.
I'm glad you punched it up, though. Thank you.
No, but
Good stuff.
The thing I like about this show is that everyone's really, really confident in their opinions. And so when the clashes happen, it's like, oh no, we're going at this.
Oh, people get like heated.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like real.
Yeah.
Like a little bit
or
real.
It's like it's the kind of thing where like someone will say something stupid, and then they were talking about Jerry Maguire, and they're trying to figure out who else could have played Renee Zellweger's part.
Oh God!
And everybody.
Yeah. Well, no. Someone says Jennifer Love Hewitt, and it's like, what? No, not even. What are you talking about?
They just attack.
Yeah.
That's just somebody wanting a pair of boobs to take the role.
You think we should do that, Ed? You think we should be a little bit more aggressive towards each other with that kind of stuff?
I think we're already there. I think
Yeah, we get there, right?
Right. So what's 100% of 5 American tacos?
4.
I don't know. I don't think there was a direct connection, but I just felt like playing it.
Yeah, it's that ballpark.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I know, but it's the Rewatchables. It's wherever podcasts are given away for free.
No, that is our line.
Okay.
You do not use it
wherever you can find podcasts.
Just look for it.
Yeah, just look for it.
Just look for it.
And I also went to the movies last night.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I went to a little indie theater, the New Vision Theater in Cranford.
The New Vision Theater in Cranford.
Cranford, New Jersey.
On Route 302.
I've been there.
Familiar with it, Jay?
Yeah, I know it. I used to date a girl in Cranford years ago.
Oh, okay.
Name a town, Jersey. He dated a girl there.
It's true.
Fucking player.
Montville?
What?
Naming a town in Jersey.
Montville? No.
Montville.
Montvale, yes.
Yes.
Not Montville, there's 2.
Yeah.
There's Montville and Montvale.
Oh, no, I'm talking
Well,
about
that's just stupid.
No, Montvale.
That's just stupid. You can't do that.
No?
No. Every town should be different in its name by at least 6 letters. Like, you can't, the Ville.
And the parks.
Clarksville.
And the fields.
You're going to do that?
Short Hills?
It's like
Short Hills. No, not Short Hills.
No.
You ever bang any broads in Somerset?
Somerset County.
Oh.
Basking Ridge?
Yes, actually, yes.
How about Baskin Robbins?
Oh, all the time. 31 flavors, baby.
That's what I was
31 flavors.
That's what I was going for.
All right.
That's what you wanted?
That's what I wanted. As soon as I thought it, and then he finished what he was doing, I was like, oh, and then if you say 31 flavors.
Segue.
Yeah.
So yeah, the movie I went to see in Cranford was Ingrid Goes West.
Oh, yeah,
and,
with Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah,
Your girlfriend.
That's my girl.
Is that near the Baskin Robbins?
So much for the segue.
And Aubrey Plaza plays a
Ingrid.
Yes, plays Ingrid, who is a psycho who gets out of the psych ward because she trashed someone's wedding in Mace in the face because she wasn't invited.
Yeah, you might have seen that in the trailer.
Yes,
it's a pretty predominant scene in the trailer.
This is literally the first minute and a half, 90 seconds of the movie.
Oh yeah, I know it's all pre-set.
Yeah, and so she finds a new person to become obsessed with and moves to California
to be that much closer to them.
Yes, played by Elizabeth Olsen, plays Taylor.
Right.
And you know who steals this movie? It's a weird movie. It's an indie movie, so there's that one little thing that's off about it. It's like, oh, that's why a studio wouldn't make this. It's one of those things like, oh, we need at least. There's no one with redeeming qualities here. Like there's that little thing that's missing, but it's still an interesting movie.
Right. It's a good story, good performances.
Yeah.
Makes it compelling. But when you start to think about it, it's like, oh, there's like right. These are all douchey kind of people.
Yeah, and the message at the end here is frankly disturbing.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's why I'm not really sure if I like this.
Well, that makes me want to know. That makes me intrigued.
I think I would probably like it.
Right, exactly. If I'm left fucking tapping into some darkness, I'm good with that.
Now I'm going out on a limb here.
Okay.
I'm mistaken some, but to me the actor who steals this
I think I already know because I've heard. But go ahead.
Is O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Right. Yes, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, Little Ice Cube Jr.
Right. He plays like the friend that she makes out there, right?
Yeah, he plays her landlord.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who she, kind of shacks up with.
Right. And he's a lot of fun, supposedly, but he's really good in his.
But it's great. Yeah, he plays this. He's a screenwriter who's obsessed with Batman.
Right.
And that plays into it a little bit.
Of course you like him. It's DC boy. I got you.
No, but
that's exactly what I've heard. It's exactly what I've heard. Yeah, he kind of steals the movie in a way. He shines pretty good.
But like he has great acting chops in this.
Right.
And he's like in this movie is already better than anything I've ever seen his father do.
I'm sending this to Ice Cube as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure, he's gonna
Ice Cube's gonna be like, I'm gonna have to make a slushy, I think, out of these ices.
Yeah, he's gonna be a proud papa.
It's all about getting yours.
Mm-hmm. I can't do an iced tea.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Either one. Yeah.
No, that was Ice Tea.
Oh, was it? I don't know.
That just there. Yeah, that was Ice Tea.
Man, your shit ain't work all day.
We're SVU. No, that's the wrong guy.
Keep it up, guys. I'm gonna get the horn.
Fuck.
Actually, O'Shea Jackson, he was good at playing his father in Straight Outta Compton. I thought.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like he wasn't really challenged a lot in that movie.
Okay.
But this he shines a lot more. Like
wait, he wasn't challenged in that movie where he played
his father.
Right.
I thought.
A guy he knew really well.
I think it was
kind of sounded like and looked it like. Yeah, I can see that being a challenge.
I think it was a good performance, actually.
I thought he was okay. But
I think playing my dad's gonna be the easiest role I ever get.
But like I didn't walk out of that movie going like, oh, that guy's got a future. I walked out of this like, oh, this guy's here. It's like
right. He said something
like
good.
this isn't a fluke.
Right. Right.
So yeah, but
probably because he got to be himself more.
Yeah, but. This is a movie I'm gonna be thinking about for a long time.
Yeah, well, I know it's got a really fucking dark streak to it. Like as much as it gets crazy and it's like over the top some shit and it's funny and all that, but there's a dark streak to it. You can feel that.
And I'm like really going back and forth as to whether or not I like this movie. And
that's the face he made. You missed.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to. This is a light trash. And I'm going to say pick this up on the streaming.
Okay.
On the streaming
site. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Which probably means I'm going to like it.
Yeah. It means you should probably see it this weekend.
Cash!
You should see it tonight after we shut down.
Like, I want my sister to see this. I don't know why.
Well,
I think she'd be.
I think it's a female-driven movie, so there might be an inclination towards that, or you can just probably see how she could tap into sensibilities about it. Yeah. It appeal to her on some level.
But there's a huge subtext about the way people live out their lives on social media.
Well, it's hardly a subtext. It's so predominant in the story because that's how all the stalking takes place, basically. Jay, London Town.
What?
London Town.
I come from London Town. I'm just an ordinary guy. Yes.
All right. We're done with that bit.
No, you can skip over me if you want.
No. I just wanted to make it seem like I just kind of randomly say words to you and you sing them.
Okay. London Town is a coming-of-age story about a 15-year-old boy in London who starts listening to The Clash a lot. And he starts to change his persona a bit. He meets a young punk girl and... his father he's a working class dad. He comes from a bad divorce. His mother was a singer, also took drugs, and was down on her luck a bit.
Oh.
And but basically, The Clash plays a huge role in this movie because he goes to the concert for the first time. It takes place in '78, when the punk movement was really going through London and whatnot, and. He goes to a concert and eventually meets Joe Strummer, and they have like an unlikely friendship together. So it's basically a formula coming of age story, but I thought it was fun.
Cool.
So that's a cash for me.
Nice.
That was really, really good.
That's a cash. Lots of music in it. Lots of rock and roll.
Lots of punk. Buzzcocks. A lot of Buzzcocks. A lot of Clash stuff.
Sure.
Buzzcocks. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Well, if you went to a concert.
It's not an apparatus.
It's an event in itself. Because they get into that a little bit. A lot of the cops and the punks beating the fuck out of each other, and it was bloody, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you ever, listen to any of that.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of rules.
No, back then,
rules really didn't start until like...
It was pretty edgy, pretty gritty over there.
Like these last 20 years or so, rules.
But yeah. And I also watched Preacher. Oh, excuse me, Machine Gun Preacher.
Oh. Which already sounds like a better show.
Machine Gun Preacher was really damn good.
Sounds like a cross of a Marvel and DC property.
It sounds like Preacher meets Punisher kind of thing. Yeah. I like it. I would love to see Jesse with a nice M16 or something like that. Just actually doling out his issues.
M60.
That's fine. I like it. With the big bandolier. Give him the Gatling gun from Predator. Let's just do that.
To be honest with you, I did for a split second think about Gerard Butler as playing Jesse at one point.
Oh, yeah, sure. It works.
Like, oh, fuck. That'd be kind of cool.
Gerard Depardieu.
What are you talking about? But no, he played. It's a true story. Machine Gun Preacher is actually a true story.
That's right.
By a guy named Sam Childers, who was a biker. And, he was just this, junkie, fucking drug addict, shitty guy, as bad as they come, and he finds God. And
becomes a missionary, right?
Well, yeah, he, develops his own, he finds God and develops his own church.
Right.
And tries to get people out of rehab and whatnot. And then he decides to take a job over in East Africa to help them, rebuild over there after the war that's going on.
Right.
And he sees what's going on with a lot of the children. Children are being sold into slave labor. They're being raped. They're have a gun in their hand that's 6 years old. And he's trying to stop all that and save these kids by building an orphanage down there.
Right.
But he does it in a gritty manner. He takes a machine gun. He goes out and he fucking kills these guys, these soldiers. And they called them
This sounds like a total 80s B movie.
But it's true. It's true, and it happened 10, 15 years ago.
I love it.
So it was really good. It's very gritty. Michael Shannon is in it. Michelle Monaghan.
This has Stephen J. Cannell written all over it.
Oh, yeah. It was really, and it's very, in-your-face grit, too.
That's the thing I wasn't sure. Like how much they played straight versus how much. Well, that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't, they don't start kind of giving you all the action movie cues.
No.
But it's very serious drama, thriller kind of thing. It's not all of a sudden he gets Charles Bronson.
No.
All of a sudden.
Not at all. The way it's done, the way it's directed, the way it's
all lifted from true life and all that. Yeah, I got you.
Right. It's really believable, and it just goes to show you how good of an actor Gerard Butler is. Because he is good. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. It was directed by Mark Forster. Guy that did World War Z.
Okay.
And
Finding Neverland.
Finding Neverland, yeah.
No, he's good. I remember seeing the trailers when it was running, and I was intrigued.
Yeah, it came out about 5 years ago, but it's very good. So do yourselves a favor. After you watch Preacher, go watch Machine Gun Preacher.
No, go watch Machine Gun Preacher.
Because the level of violence is there.
Fair enough.
It's still there.
So that's cash.
Yes, cash.
Cash.
What's up next?
Me.
I did have a question of the week. I put it out on my tweeters. Didn't get a whole lot of traction, but I thought Ed, because we were talking about these solo DC movies earlier, like Joker. So I put out which DC Comics character needs their own solo standalone movie.
None of them would have been in Rememory, though, right?
No. Oh, we were still on Meanwhile. Okay, I'm sorry. Right. I forgot. All right. You could have just said, hey, I got a Meanwhile, too. Don't forget me.
Did.
I didn't hear you.
You asked the question. I said, what's next? He said, what's next? I said, me. And you kept talking.
Oh.
Isn't that terrible?
You'll hear that when you edit this out later.
Can I sit there?
No.
Come on.
You would have ignored him, too.
No, I wouldn't have.
Well, you were in on it, too.
I would have played Chemical Warfare, and Bob and I would have bonded, and it'd be fine.
Oh, my God, folks. I'm protecting you from that. I'm sorry. Yeah, you watched...
yesterday, Rememory was available at Google Play.
Oh, yes, you were saying.
Sure.
I don't know if it's still there, but you might want to go ahead and check if you're interested, because it's the movie that actually hasn't come out yet, right? So
right, yeah, it wasn't fully released.
Yeah, this one stars...
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones. And... a device which can find and rebuild true memories inside your brain. The idea is that over time, our memories get a little filtered through our all the experiences that have come after it.
Okay.
Those
Right.
memories.
Sure.
So this helps you see those and get better mentally from it. That's the idea.
Okay.
So the guy dies. Peter Dinklage kind of knows him. He's had his own trauma. So he decides to take a look and see if he can't figure out what's going on. He steals a prototype of the machine because it's not out in the public yet, and he goes around with the memory cards, looking at everybody's memories, trying to figure out who did it.
Okay.
Right. So this is told in a very straightforward storytelling kind of way.
Okay.
This is not an action movie. This is a little bit of a murder mystery, but it's not like a whodunit kind of thing.
Right.
It's a very simply done, kind of flat,
All right.
overall kind of movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a great movie.
Okay.
There's a lot more to it, but it hasn't even come out yet, so I won't mention a whole lot.
Right.
There are some issues at the end for me personally. But once you guys have seen it, we can talk about the ending.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna have to give it I almost want to give it a trash.
Right.
Like Ed did with his trash. He said you can pick it up on streaming.
Well, that's where it is.
That's where it is right now.
That's right. Well, that's what I mean.
Right.
Like it's almost like, well, since you can get it now, like that therefore it makes it worth watching in a sense where it's like the trade-off is it's like available early.
Right. And it's free.
Right. that yes.
You know what I mean? So that was kind of cool, but it's not.
It's a cash more on that than anything.
Yeah, it's if you could find it's going to be a bargain bin DVD eventually.
Right.
If we were still doing that kind of thing, then I would say it's as a way for it to be a bargain bin DVD.
Yeah.
So cash in that sense.
Yeah, because I had seen the trailer and it looked good. I mean,
it's
thriller-esque.
It's a solid storytelling thing. There's a couple of mistakes in it, and there's one editing mistake.
Okay.
That you see, that you can. It's in the background, far in the background, but you just see something moving that shouldn't be moving.
Okay.
Because it's a background of trees.
Okay.
So you got the brown part of the trees and you got the green of the trees. Right, and it's at nighttime. So something that's like brown and moving in the black goes across way in the background. So now I got it downloaded, so I pause it.
Like, what the fuck was that?
Like this, right. All right, somebody's walking through there, and they didn't even bother. This was the take that was really good.
Right.
So
like, fuck.
They were like, all right, the hell with it. No one's going to notice that, because it literally is like something.
But Bob Sweeney noticed it.
You motherfuckers.
It's like that one shot in Fellowship of the Ring.
We can see the car. Like
way back when they're running away from the ferry.
Right.
Yeah. So it actually is kind of like that, but it's not an obvious thing because
I got you.
Because the figure itself looks kind of brown, like if you're not really looking at it, but it's like right there in the middle of the frame, right behind Peter Dinklage's head. Because you're at a doorway.
Okay.
With two characters at the doorway, he's leaving.
Gotcha.
So as the door opens, he stands there to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Then you see it behind his head, something's going scurrying by.
Wow, that's funny. It's funny. I guess they didn't have the budget to erase it out digitally.
Yeah, something.
Well, maybe you just got by everybody. That's weird.
Maybe this is an earlier version of it.
Maybe it's a work print or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That, they were like, all right, just go ahead.
Yeah, that's the one we can put out, and
right.
we'll have a polished one in time for full release.
Something like that. So, if you're interested in seeing Peter Dinklage, go ahead, because he does a very good job in this.
Cool.
And overall, the story's not a bad story.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of fails a little at the end, and it's all kind of flatly throughout.
Right.
And you're just kind of following like the whodunit aspect.
Okay.
But it's just kind of a quiet, not an exciting thing. You're not like you're watching Clue or something like that.
Right, or just something that has a little bit more bounce of personality.
Right.
They're probably trying to build tension, and it doesn't work too much.
There's no real gravitas as it goes on.
I got you.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like you're watching him go through all this.
Right. All right.
Cool. Mr. Body. Mr. Body is gone.
What? Mr.
And
Mr.
actually, one thing I want to say, one more thing we talked about earlier was there's actually some scenes because of his height where they have to make allowances for that. Like at one point, I was telling Bill is
I was saying
he says to me, you want to find out what you want your memories back, you got to come outside and talk to me. Right, so they go outside, and now they're on a flight of stairs, and he's
so it allows him to be at the same height.
Yeah, at a more reasonable height, because she's actually fairly tall. This woman, she's like almost 6 feet in heels. Yeah. So he's up a few steps just to kind of keep himself near shoulder height, so he's not looking like craning his neck.
Right.
Because
I noticed. I was telling him, I was like, how did they shoot? Like, did you notice that? Like, because I noticed in Game of Thrones after a while that like Tyrion's always, his character's always like at a certain distance away, where like when you would, if he was next to somebody all the time, those cut to shots of face to face would be like this a lot, like the eye line would have to be down.
Yeah.
And it would be an odd thing for the camera to always be doing. So I noticed that he's always about 20 feet, 10 or 15 feet away, where it's a more natural looking kind of eye line.
Right. And in editing, when you turn the camera around in different angles, it looks more like a natural height comparison to
right. Right. And his close shot.
That depth trick going.
Yeah. And then, so he mentioned that thing they did with the stairs. I thought that was funny.
I mean, I thought, and then his height didn't really bother me in the role, really. You know what I mean?
It wasn't like a super noticeable thing, or
no. It was just that once or twice they have to make allowances for his height, and
you kind of notice
if you're it is kind of noticeable if you're the kind of person who's at all aware, alert when they're watching, So, not bad, not great.
That's like that describes the burp I just made. Not bad, not great.
Kind of a hot doggy burp.
Oh my God! Don't even say something like that. That's gross. Actually, it's probably a wing burp. Jay brought some wings before we started, and me and him wolfed down like all.
So do you know the names of the guys at 7-Eleven yet, or what, Jay?
No, not yet.
That's your regular stop before you come here now.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's about 2 or 3 blocks away.
It is right between the highway and us.
Yeah.
Actually, some of the customers say hi to me when I go in there all the time. I recognize some of the customers.
That place has had regulars forever. That place has been around since before I was born.
Yeah.
It's got those people that are like in there all the time.
Yeah.
Hanging out too.
Oh my
out
God!
in front
hours,
of it.
hours. You'll see the same guy in there. And it's like, I don't know. Does he work here? Like, and
nope.
But
hey, Bill, did you notice that the old Chinese lady who hangs out there all the time? She actually lives in here.
I know.
Yeah. No. It's like Richard Gere in Officer and a Gentleman.
Of course it is. Just please explain. So
I got nowhere else to go.
Oh, okay.
No, there's people out in front. They're talking about, I'm in the truck with this guy, and he's blasting fucking Eddie Money's 2 Tickets to Paradise. That song sucks. That's what I hear when I go in.
Yeah, well, they're not wrong, Jay.
I'm trying to get a hot dog. That's what I got to hear.
Yeah, well, you're blasting fucking Jersey's best.
No, I'm not.
That's you he's talking about.
No, not me. I don't blast any money.
You're not blasting 2 Tickets to Paradise.
I don't blast 2 Tickets to Paradise.
You blast 2 Tickets to Paradise.
Shaken, maybe.
They don't play that one as much.
Bon Jovi.
No.
No.
Not no more.
No, never.
Oh, okay.
Not even then, no.
Not even to get laid?
No.
Not even to close a deal?
No.
Oh, jeez.
No. I closed the deal anyway. Listening to exactly what I listened to. Fucking Traveling Wilburys.
And it's all right.
Traveling to the end of the line.
When I'm trying to get into your pants, it's all right. If you only give me a chance.
Meanwhile,
No, we did that.
We did that already.
We did that already.
See?
Who we hear from, Bill?
Oh, we're going to hear from people. First one, Stephanie Muniz.
There she is.
Steph, how you doing?
From the Gotham
More
Lights.
smiles.
The Gotham Lights podcast.
That's Jason's girlfriend.
What?
That's Jason's girlfriend.
Yeah. Well,
You?
You mean
No, not me.
You know you?
When you say
Oh, you mean
Jason,
Agent
Jason
Palmer.
Star Trek.
Yeah, when you say
That
Jason,
guy, yeah.
When you say Jason, you mean Mr. Stephanie.
I mean, Mr. Stephanie, yes.
Mr. Muniz.
Mr. Muniz.
Mr. Muniz.
Mr. Jason Muniz.
I'm sure he loves that
Yeah,
one.
you
now.
like that?
You like that
Like
one?
that? I'll go over there and
He's going to
to
hear that now more
Let
from
him-
her than anything.
because he knows I love him.
Yeah. Well, we call him Agent Palmer just so there's no confusion about which Jason we're talking
There's
about.
nothing about.
That's why we do it.
That's a crock of shit because he was called Agent Palmer before I even got here.
Yeah.
Be
But there's
proud
just
to be
I know
Jason.
so many guys named Jay, though.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to have a whole discussion about being named Jason now with him, and I'm going to air it. And I'm going to air it on my
do
Twitter.
a little side thing,
Yeah.
a little side,
Absolutely.
little side action. All right, go for that.
Because in high school, they always used to say, that kind of thing.
They'd be like, yeah, that's my fucking
And I'm like,
theme
that's
music.
right, bitch.
I'll kill all of you
I'll
fucks.
kill you motherfuckers.
I'll kill Miss McGillicuddy, too.
I guess.
She didn't even finish the do now yet.
McGillicuddy.
I couldn't think,
I mean,
Miss
Jason.
McGinley.
Jason, he's probably like in my top 6 or 7 Power Rangers of all time.
We're going to break it down.
And you do know, like every Jason within walking distance of wherever you live.
Yeah. I do know. I do know, too.
I was named from the Greek god Jason, or the Greek prince, Jason and the Argonauts.
So was everybody after he was famous?
It's not true.
No, but that's just what they say. You know what I mean?
Let's get your mother on the phone. I bet
that's
she
what your
tells us
mom
you were named
says.
after Jason Voorhees.
My mother would hang up.
What are you, my son's
Are
friends?
you doing that Staten Island thing? All right, click.
You guys, you're up to no.
Sounds like your mom should hang out with my mom.
You guys are up to no good.
You know what? My mom's actually really, really nice. She'd probably hang out with all of you and
Talk shit about you.
Talk shit about no.
Oh, see, our mom would hang out with you and talk shit about us.
At least that's
I'm only
the way it
joking.
seems anyway.
She's got a lot of dirt.
No, every girlfriend I ever had growing up, man, as soon as
God,
I brought her
Mom
home, Mom
fucking
broke out the book with the baby picture.
Oh, yeah,
my
she
God,
does
did
that.
to you too?
Absolutely.
Dude,
Yeah.
every time. Not just once.
But there's like people that
Every
are dead
girlfriend.
that were at my baptism. You know, you look at my
Yeah.
baptism picture. Yeah, that guy's dead. That guy stabbed somebody.
Yeah. But but not with Pam. Not with Pam. Pam, it was more or less like, let's show you all the pictures that like.
Yeah.
Oh, the bad pictures.
You know, because I'm a mom, I think these are funny and cute.
Yeah.
But for you, son, they'll be very embarrassing and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
annoying and uncomfortable.
See, me as the first child,
Yeah.
I was overfed. So by the time I was 1 year old, I was like 47 fucking pounds. Okay?
Right.
So she breaks out the pictures of me with the arm rolls that go over each other.
Yeah.
Like they start hanging sideways.
like the Michelin guy.
Right? And it's just like, gee, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I'm there all skinny with my
Yeah.
long hair. I'm all rocked out, dude.
Yeah. She doesn't show you those.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
I got a picture of me, like I was like 8 or something like that, and I had slept over at my grandparents' house. You know what I mean? And I remember this night because like fucking it was rough, bro. Like I ate something there, probably some scungeel or something with fucking Sal, and like I puked into the bed and I had diarrhea. Like you know what I mean? And so Irene, grandma. You know, that's nothing funnier than this. You know, nothing cuter than this. And the grandson in the flop sweats, like I'm naked on the bowl, and she takes a picture. And now my mother has this picture, and then I bring a girl to the house, and it's one of the first. Like, how is that even near the top? Like, I don't understand how you got to that fast. Like, you know, immediately it's like she collected all the most embarrassing
This
ones.
is when he was born.
And I was a weird kid, so all the pictures of me, I'm doing something totally ridiculous and weird in. You know, I'm playing with my pet mouse, or I'm fucking, you know, dressing up like a ninja, or you know, running around, whatever.
Well, no,
But
my
I'm just
mother
saying,
wasn't
like-
that bad. Like she didn't. That was not the first thing she went to.
Our mom was, here's the cute picture. Here's the real cute picture. Here's the embarrassing shit.
Yeah.
You know? And then there's more cute pictures later.
Yeah. And because I was born cross-eyed, all I had was embarrassing shit. The little cute pictures, I'm cross-eyed in all of them.
Yeah.
Bill, I just realized
Yeah.
you never actually said what the question of the week was. Like you mentioned it, we got off track, and then we never went back to it, and you just strolled into emails.
That's all I was. I was just saying that there was one. That's all. I wasn't sharing it.
You got corrected,
I was just
son.
saying, hey, I put one out this week.
We got responses.
No,
on
we
it.
did. We did. Did someone point it out? Or did you just kind of do...
Is Wesley putting us in check?
Where is this coming from? Did you do due diligence on your own?
Palmer mentioned it.
Palmer mentioned it. Okay, I just want to know where this is. You know, this. If I had a chart right now, someone might get a grape scratch and stiff sticker or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we did. I can.
Fucking
halt.
mosquito did a job on me today.
I can halt the other thing real quick. It was a kind of an interesting question. You know what we'll do? We'll transfer it to the after show.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's do that for people. Because,
Patreon exclusive.
Because that's true. Because I feel like we got a little sidetracked and we're rolling full steam ahead, but we're in the emails now, so
We're in the zone. We're all right.
we're all right.
So who emailed us?
Stephanie Muniz.
Oh, that's right, Sammy.
Hey,
Remember how long ago that was? That I was like, hey,
Mrs. Jason.
right. That's what. That's where we went crazy. Okay. So, wow. Just backtracking all that in my head now. Great. So, hey, yous guys.
Yes.
Hey, you, Steph.
Yes, dear.
In the newest episode of Gotham Lights, yes, we're back. Very cool, very cool. We discussed some news articles that shared new characters joining the Gotham cast. The current concern for most fans is an influx of too many villains. Now we have Solomon Grundy, Barbara, Scarecrow, Professor Pig, and more. Hanno and I are excited to see what they do with Solomon Grundy, given that they have admitted to wanting to stick closer to the comics with him than some of their previous character incarnations. That's got to be a good thing, right? Anyway, my question for you all. What do you think the best guess is on the number of furniture pieces that Ed will flip if they bring back Fish Mooney?
What are you talking about? It's not going to happen.
There was at least one article that hinted at the possibility. That'll do it for me. Take care, fellas. Your pal, Steph. Steph, thanks for stirring up the
Don't
shit.
even fucking joke about that.
Thank you.
I mean, I guess, you know.
Thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
I will drive to
Steph does know Ed fairly well because he has been on her show.
I will drive to Pennsylvania and burn Jason Star Trek's house.
That's some seriously sustainable anger for that trip.
I don't. That's not even what I'm
And that's
laughing
why
at.
people.
That is not even fucking funny.
That's why I love Ed. Because he's got it.
That's so inside. I love it. So fucking inside. Oh my god. Okay. So, but
You did not do anything, Palmer. It's just some. There needs to be an example made.
that's well true.
You could take a flight
He
to
is-
Arizona and just strike a match.
He is the closest thing of hers
Because
that you can threaten.
Because if I throw that consequence out there, I am sure that he will be able to make sure it doesn't happen.
He will find a way to keep Fish Mooney off the TV.
Yes.
I almost said
And
Fish.
have you ever known any man to be able to control his girlfriend when she's angry?
Fair point. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. The whole Solomon Grundy, if you've been watching, that whole thing is the thing where it's like, oh, that's what we're gonna do now with characters. We're just gonna say that guy's been that guy the whole time. He just had a different name.
He's got the right build for it.
Oh, he's got the right build for it, and I guess it kind of works. It feels very like late in the game, kind of an idea somebody had from left field.
Well, you know what? We're heading into season 4.
So,
Well, he's the secret
and they said fuck it a long time ago on that show. So, but I mean,
we're at the point right now where it's
Solomon Grundy is like.
you finish out the season, you're guaranteed syndication.
Am I remembering right? Solomon Grundy is kind of like from. He was in Super Friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's the one
Super
who
Friends.
kind of like looked like a pale Frankenstein or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And was he dumb or smart? Or what was his deal?
He was just kind of like an angry gray Hulk in a suit.
Okay. Okay, but not completely stupid though.
No.
No, he could speak and shit. Okay. But when you say suit, you mean like tattered rags?
Yes.
At least on that show.
Well, he had a sports jacket.
Okay.
You know.
So should they pale him up or something for this? Like, what should they do to transfer him to make him full Solomon Grundy? Like, what would be the next step for his makeover? Then is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
oh yeah, it'll just go.
They'll do some makeup job on him.
Yeah,
Right?
he'll be like full albino.
Right. They'll figure out some way to wash him of color. Okay. I'm just kind of picturing it in my head. All right. There's that. All right, Steph. Mission accomplished.
I will be on the Gotham Lights podcast soon, so look out for that. People.
Oh, there's a little inside scoop.
Have you been watching the show?
No,
There's a little more inside scoop.
but I have something up my sleeve. So
Oh my God, you're gonna get arrested. Okay, thank you so much for the email, Steph.
the Phoenix Police.
Gotham City Police Department.
Uncle Jay is wanted by the Phoenix Police.
No. I saw the smoke trail. I thought it was actually like I had a cigarette burning. So that's that's what I was about. I was about to duck it out. I didn't realize it was.
Oh, it was
just,
burning, all right.
It was burning, motherfucker.
Oh,
All
I'm
right,
burning
so
for you.
We've got another email.
Ooh.
Hey, you gentlemen. Whoa.
Something happened.
Whoa.
All right, we're good. We're good. I fixed it.
Is everything okay now?
Oh yeah, you fixed it.
You made Bob pay attention.
Hey, you blew out my fucking eardrums many a time on the show.
I didn't
Hey.
say anything.
Yes, you did.
Did I really?
Yes, you did.
All right, whatever. Then those times I did.
Then
I didn't say now though. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say anything just now to you.
you said them. You said you and them.
I said
That
then
meant something.
with an N.
That meant something.
I said
I
then.
thought you said you were a right spider.
But don't. All right.
And I was doing Raging Bull, but you didn't get that. Did
No,
you?
I did. But then he came in with that. But I'm over here now.
All right, what did Wesley say?
Boogaloogaloo, boogaloogaloo,
Lugu. Lou.
boogaloogaloo. I'm
you
over
want-
here now.
Do you want me to read the email?
Nah, I'm
Ixnay.
doing dice bits from Opie and Anthony 12 years ago. Don't interrupt. Stop interrupting me while I am interrupting you.
Love it.
Hey, you gentlemen, there is already candy out. I'm sorry, this is Wesley, just in case anybody missed that. I don't think we actually said it. Hey, you gentlemen, there's already Halloween candy out, and it's not even October yet. Do you think there's ever a bag that is bought this early and then makes it to Halloween?
No.
It's a fair question. Like, no, right? No. Nobody's not touching that bag at least a little bit. I mean, by the end, it's just the shit that you don't want. Yeah. Right?
Well, at the end, there's 4.
right. That's when the guilt kicks in, right? When it's like, oh, I should save some for the kids, I guess.
The Reese's Pumpkins.
Right. I'm just thinking about where it's always like a mixed bag of shit. And it's like you just pick out all of what you eat, what your favorite is, and then leave the rest for the
kids.
Give
everybody the good and plenty.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that.
Yes, good and plenty, and like Charleston shoes. All right, great.
3 Musketeers. The least interesting.
Right. And little bags of pennies. What's up with the fucking pennies? All right.
It's money.
It's money. Money.
Eddie Money.
Eddie Money. Hey. I heard of him.
We should be sleeping. We don't drink and drive.
All right, guys. This is getting ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
It's fun.
Just consider yourself lucky that I don't have the time to queue up Eddie Money right now, okay? All right, so next question is, how early is too early to put out holiday decor and snacks? So how early is too early to start like setting up for that holiday?
I would say after Labor Day, but they do it like a month before now.
Well, he's got it very generic here. Like he says snacks, so I don't know if he means
snacks.
If he means like just any holiday. Because how early is too early to put up holiday decor? I get that the last show was...
Well,
how early is too early?
So for Halloween, October 1st.
Yeah.
I think October 1st, that's when you throw stuff up.
I think for any holiday, really, I feel like once that month starts, then, you're game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me, like, when do you buy the candy you're going to give out? Within the week before. Maybe, 3 days.
I say you wait till the week after Halloween, you load up on that shit for cheap, and you throw it in the closet until the fucking Halloween rolls around again.
Yeah, but you see, when it comes to stuff
so what if it gets all separated and gets that white chalky shit going on?
But when it comes to stuff like Christmas, that's a big prep.
Oh, well, that's a mission.
So I think, and they start doing that just before Halloween now.
Yeah, I think people do that because it's like, okay, I'm going to do a lot of bullshit or more than I normally do. So I'm going to get some time out of these fucking lights if I'm going to get up on a ladder and hang them.
but I get it. The month of November, I get it. I understand it. You know what I mean? Because that's the holiday.
It kind of comes with winter. I think Thanksgiving and Christmas are kind of synonymous with the cold season if you live in a cold region.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the very least, I would presume that.
Like
right? Isn't that how it kind of goes? I mean, in a way?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that first week of November is the official start of the holiday season.
Now it is. It used to be Thanksgiving. Day after Thanksgiving.
Day after Thanksgiving.
You go shopping.
It's August 31st, motherfucker.
Yeah. Even when I was a kid, I remember just before Thanksgiving, Christmas shit was out already. And, the Sears wish book would come out and I'd want every goddamn G.I. Joe thing on it.
Oh, the Sears wish book.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the week before Christmas, all the Valentine's Day shit is already out.
Well, that's because now these days, when it comes time for Halloween, they don't even bother just putting out Halloween stuff. Some of these places they're already putting out Thanksgiving stuff too.
Right.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of places they'll have like a little bit of the next holiday sitting there too. And it's like, Jesus Christ, guys.
No, you go to the dollar stores because I go to decorate for my job. With every holiday.
Oh yes, but they leave all the holidays out all year round for every holiday.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. But as these stores, these party stores or places that have these cheap party sections.
Yeah.
They just go from one holiday to the next, and then they split it right down the middle, whatever that section is.
Right.
If there's 2 holidays coming up within a 2-month period,
sure,
they're putting them both out, or they're starting 1 week with one, and then the following week there's the other one too.
But what's really in a Thanksgiving section? Like plastic corn stalks?
Yeah, pretty much.
And a pumpkin spice latte
those
section.
Those stupid accordion turkeys that you put on the table. That the back end is like one of those pop open books.
Right.
Oh no! See, there's always that one house on
I
the
fixed
block.
it, Wes. Thank you. Go ahead.
There's always that one house on the block that has the grass front lawn.
Oh yeah.
And they throw out those inflatables.
Oh yeah, the turkey.
Yeah.
The big turkey balloon.
They have the inflatables for every season.
Yeah.
Every holiday.
They
it's
go.
just like, oh my God.
Buck wild.
A Better Homes cinnamon candle.
What does it smell like? Does it smell like cinnamons? Because I like cinnamons. Cinnamons. Oh boy. I like cinnamons. All right. I had one fucking beer. See what you did?
Yeah.
Get me another one.
I had like.
Let's cause havoc.
I had scotch, I had beers, and I'm still rolling.
Here's a kind of a interesting question. When with binging being so popular lately, is there any TV show that would be better when not binged?
I find most sitcoms, most stuff that's like straight up network, you know, especially old because there's a formula to it. Any older shows like
you can't run as long.
Yeah, you can't.
You can do an hour, but like you couldn't do like 4 hours of all the families. What
like,
you're saying?
Yeah. Well, even like I just finished binging Outer Limits.
Okay.
And the 60s version.
Sure.
And even that, it's a different cast, different thing every hour.
Yeah.
But you see those story rhythms like, okay, so these guys are going into space.
Right. You start calling it.
Someone's gonna get fucked up. And then it's like, there's that actor who was in a really big TV show like 3 years after.
And then right at the end, you're like, of course, it's a squid. Right.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Giant squid. Got it. But no, I think that's a fair point. I think certain shows like definitely do kind of like work better when like you can. I wonder though, because I feel like certain shows are kind of designed to be a little bit more conversationally digested because they don't give you as much. And like, sure, it's meant to be kind of that show. Yeah. But like, we all watched Westworld, and Westworld I think is a prime example because they wrote to be like confusing on purpose. Like, you know what I mean? There's a certain amount of obfuscification going on there. That's, it's a word I learned from X-Files. You know what I mean? That's being intentionally confusing, and, it seems like a thing where it's like, if you were just watching that straight through, sure, you would just barrel through until the end and, get what you got. But I don't know that you would break it down as much into detail. Like if you would get as much by bouncing off friends and being like, and hearing what somebody else was getting from it and being like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I think you would just run with your theories in your head, but you wouldn't, you don't put as much weight behind them because you don't have time to, because you're going to watch the next one. And you're hoping it's going to give you the answers, and you'll get them when you get them. But I think it's a different, like for certain shows, like where it's like they're written kind of to be more of a mystery.
Yeah, and I also think shows that are more serialized lend themselves more to binging because they're leaving those nuggets. It is one story that we're just telling in small pieces,
right?
As opposed to like where these are all these individual stories that just happen to feature the same characters,
right.
Like House, the first 3 seasons are incredible, but seeing those over and over again, it's because it's
it's more
it gets a little tiring.
There's a procedure to the show,
because it's half and half. That's a show that's half and half.
It begins and ends in an hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's going to have things happening at certain times, and you got to catch those rhythms after a while. Nowadays, I can't say most, but a lot of storytelling in shows nowadays is geared towards the next episode, keeping you for the next episode.
Yeah.
So there's something there to keep you coming back, and that's the hook that's good for binging. You don't get that in a lot of shows, especially the older shows.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like Law and Orders and TNT used to do those marathons.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot better when they changed up the detectives.
When
it was like, this is season 8 Jerry Orbach with Benjamin Bratt. And then it's like, no, now we're going back to like George Sunsa and Chris Noth.
Yeah. I just got an email from Eddie Money. He said to cease and desist.
Did you?
He said, otherwise, he'd be sending me money.
Let me ask you something, Jay. Do you prefer Michael Moriarty or Sam Waterston?
Well, Law and Order.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I always felt like Sam Waterston's head was going to come off.
Well, yeah, Sam Waterston, I think he's good, but then it's just overplayed. It's the same role. It's the same performance every single.
Yeah.
Where Michael Moriarty was a little bit more realistic, I think.
Moriarty felt more jaded and grounded, and then Waterston always felt like the annoying like uncle or school teacher who knows too much for his own good kind of a thing, and isn't trying to be smarmy, but he fucking is. It's like having Alan Alda in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what they did when they got rid of Michael Moriarty, because he was basically being a dick on the show behind the scenes.
He was being the real guy. He was being
I think he had some
what happened when they got Sam Waterston, just to finish my point, is that they made a switch with the character became more liberal.
Yeah, well, sure.
A whole lot more liberal.
You broke the law, and now you're going to jail for it.
Your Honor, you gotta just move your head
And
a
Sam
lot.
Waterston is a better actor than that too, because if anybody's ever seen The Killing Fields or his run on Newsroom, he was great in Newsroom. You know what I mean? So I think
I just pictured him on news radio.
News radio.
For some reason in my head, I saw him in between Joe Rogan and Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, no, there was a TV version of The Glass Menagerie with Katharine Hepburn, where Sam Waterston played.
Two people shaking their heads at each other.
Yeah. Well, actually, Sam Waterston and Michael Moriarty are both in that.
Listen,
but Waterston
Catherine.
plays Tom, and
It
he's
just gets worse and worse as you go on. Bob had his head down. He was like, "Fuck this."
So what's next?
He said, "Can you explain why people on vacation decide to leave their brain at home?
Well, why not, man?
What makes you think that those people had brains in the first place?
Yeah.
If they were so smart, they would have packed it."
Someone's been
Have you
dealing with
met
tourists.
most people these days? Most people don't think.
There you go. What are you saying?
Someone's been dealing with tourists. lately.
Yeah, something, right? Like sounds like he must have done some traveling or something. It's because they're not home. They're not home. And you'll probably suffer from it too, where on the outside, it'll look like, why are you being a complete moron? But meanwhile, you just confused, lost little puppy. Like, I don't know, I'll just poop right here. And it's like, we don't do that here, sir. You just don't know the local colloquial.
As long as nobody's taking a dump on the fucking in the pool or
Listen, if
anything
you're
like
going to do that, you do it on my chest, all right?
Well, no, that's just that shit where like people don't read. Like they just walk into
Well, there's a
situations.
lot of that.
Yeah, and
tourism, baby.
And then they forget that a lot of the ways and things go on in your own hometown or wherever you're from. It's not always the way it goes wherever you're going, and that can mean like the tiniest things, the small things. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's just a matter of people really living their lives with blinders on.
That too. Sure.
They walk around and their view of the world is very narrow, and then when their eyes get open from something happening.
Right.
It's a bit of a mind fuck sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes they just shut it down. They don't even fucking
learn.
They don't even learn a
That's the other
lesson. They
side of
just
it,
you know what I mean? They just kind of shut it off.
gave his
fuck
life.
you, because I'm always right.
He gave his life for tourism. King Tut.
Is that how that goes?
Yeah, it's Steve Martin.
No, I know the song, but is it even like in history?
That was one. That was one of his.
His ironic.
His ironic jabs. King Tut.
So,
That it?
yeah, I'm just. I finally see the chat in here that
there's
the
a
Palmer chat.
Oh, okay. There's a Palmer chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Palmer chat. I was just I caught up to speed on it.
You want to go off the rails one more time?
Is that the emails?
Good point, Jay. And good point, Ed. Yes, that was the emails. That's going to take us out of the email zone and into the old rap-skadoodles. The rap-skadoodles. We're going to go, when we come back, we're going to, in the after show, we're going to play a game. We got a little game thing, a little clash of pop titans or something like that.
Yep.
And then we'll also get to the question of the week. We'll talk about that a little bit. Question of the week, if you're in the chat room, is
What happened to Eddie Money?
what? Is he changed his name to Eddie Broke?
I just saw
Eddie
a
Broken?
picture of him. He looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Oh, I can only imagine. He was haggard on the day I fucking first saw him. The day he signed his record deal, he looked like he was 60.
He was shaking.
He was early Parkinson's. All right, that was
So you just need to edit clips of Sam Waterston in Law and Order and play Shakin'.
There you go.
Shakin'.
He be shaking.
He's shaking, boy.
All in the courtroom, he be shaking. Your Honor,
Eddie Money.
this is ridiculous, Your Honor.
I'm going to retweet this show to Eddie Money and see if he listens.
Eddie, listen to this hour and a half bullshit for
It's all out of love,
for
buddy.
5
It's
or 6
all out of love.
5
Well,
or 6 mentions.
you got to give him a time code to start at.
What the fuck is this?
I don't even know. This is going to turn into a game.
Where's my heroin?
What's going on, guys? I'll do an interview. I'll be like, nah, I'll pass.
I'll do the interview.
Well, have fun.
Oh, you would love it. Would be fun. Did you ever see Superman 2, Eddie?
Ridiculous left field shit like that.
Isn't Superman 2 awesome? I was on coke that time when that came out.
Well, but so Superman 4 you saw then. So you remember that one.
Oh, that was good.
That's the one I liked. That's with the solar guy, right? You're like, yeah, right.
Exactly.
Nuclear Man.
There you go, Nuclear Man. All right.
Take me home tonight.
Speaking of taking me home, let's continue to try to wrap this up.
We try.
Yeah, we try. We're going to go do that in the after show. Stick around if you're listening live. You'll hear the DC TV report, Ed's breakdown of all things going on TV that are DC. Right now, just one. It's Preacher. It's Preacher.
But there's a fun retro pick.
There's a fun retro pick. If you want to get deeper on Preacher, you listen to Preacher vs. Preacher. That's our other podcast. Compares the show to the book, but we give away spoilers for the book. So tough titties if you don't like that, but you can listen to us anyway.
Tough titties.
Tough titties. And then, that's going to really wrap it up. Bob is setting up, and then I'm going to say something like, oh, my God, thanks for listening, and be good to yourselves and to others, I guess. I don't know. How about that?
Yeah.
Fucking moral.
You can tell people where to find you.
It's one to grow on. Well, how about where we find Jay on Twitter? At Uncle Jay.
I'm at Uncle Jay at Coney Island Whitefish on the Twitter.
Coney Island Whitefish.
Coney Island Whitefish at Jason Chickalese.
That's how it's random. That's how that goes. Coney, and you can change that anytime you want.
I'm going to change it right now.
I believe it.
I am at Edward O'Hare TBD.
There you go.
I'm at Bob WTPC.
And I'm at Wicked Theory. The show is at wickedtheory.com and also wherever good podcasts are given away for free. Subscribe, rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Jay's looking for another drink, and that cup is empty. All right.
So is that bottle.
So is this fucking show. Okay, all right. So with that,
time for some Mountain
we
Dew.
are ready to rock and roll, and Bob can take us out.
Take me home tonight.
Podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.